So today I'm going to teach you how to draw a castle using some simple 2D shapes. And I'm going to show you how to do this really cool kind of coloring and painting technique that I learned from Cassie Stevens. And all you really need is markers, water, and a paintbrush. That's it. And you get this really cool kind of 3D effect that I think is really awesome. One of my favorite things about drawing or painting castles is that depending on what colors you choose and what kind of details you add, you can really change the mood. So for this one, I did kind of an enchanted, magical castle. So I used bright, fun colors. I added some sparkle details. There's maybe a fairy flying around it. But I've also made a very dark and creepy castle by using darker colors. Yikes, this castle looks like there's an alligator in the moat and there's even an evil dragon guarding it. Yikes. So that's the cool thing about castles, is I can do one guided drawing to show you how to draw a castle, but then you decide what colors and details you add to really finish off your masterpiece. To start off our castle drawing, we're going to start with the square right in the middle of our page. Then we're going to draw the door to our castle, and I'm going to make my door shaped like a big rainbow shape. I'm going to go up first, rainbow shape, and down. Now I'm going to add a little castle detail to the top here. And so an easy way to do that is to just draw a mini square, leave a space, mini square, leave a space. Then you get that cool kind of castle effect. Now I'm going to draw two skinny rectangles on either side of my square, and I want them to be about the same size. But if they're not, that's okay too. Just do your best. Oops. All right, so now I'm going to add triangles on top of these towers. So I'm going to make a line on top, and I'm going to make it go a little bit past the edge of my rectangle. Then I'm going to connect that to make the triangle. Do the same thing on this side. Draw the line first so that it goes over the edge a little bit, and connect it to make a triangle. So I could stop there if I wanted, but I'm going to keep adding more towers to make my castle look really big and grand. And there's no rule to this. You just kind of look around and decide where you want a tower to be. And then you choose, do you want a triangle top or this little castle effect? So I'm going to start back here. I'm going to start with a little rectangle, and I'm going to add that little castle effect on top. Okay, and maybe I'll put another tower back here, triangle top, and kind of tuck it behind. And maybe one more of that castle effect. And I'm still going to add one more tower on each side of here because I really want to use my space well, and I can see that I have a little bit of room here. So this little square on top strategy works really well, but if you practice, you might be able to make that same look a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up. Takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it looks pretty cool. On this side, I'm going to do another triangle. Okay, so I like how that looks. If you think maybe you need another tower in the background, you can definitely add one. It really just depends on the size of your page and the size of your castle. So that your castle could be small or gigantic. It is completely up to you. Now I'm going to show you a trick to add a cool kind of drawbridge that looks really realistic in 3D. So I'm going to go to the bottom of my door, and I'm going to make a diagonal line coming out on an angle. I'm going to make that exact same line over here as well. So I need to make sure that I follow the same angle. Then I'm going to connect the two ends with a straight line, a straight horizontal line. So I could look at this line or the edge of my page to help make sure that it is straight. And now I'm going to show you a trick to make it look like there are chains that are holding this drawbridge open. So I'm actually going to switch to pencil, and I'm going to really lightly draw a line from the top of my door to the corner of my drawbridge. Same thing on the other side. Oops. Now I could leave it like that, but to make it look like a chain, I'm going to go over the top of that line, making little ovals that are touching. And then it really makes it look like a chain. It's a cool little trick. Nice. If you want to draw some lines on your drawbridge, you can, but you don't need to. And for here, you can decide whether your door is open or closed. If it's open, you could even draw a character in there, maybe a powerful queen or a fierce knight. I think I'm going to leave them closed. So I'm going to make a straight line down and then draw 2 door handles. Now I'm going to add some windows to my castle. To make a special castle window, I draw a straight line across, and then I draw that same kind of rainbow shape above it. Another one over here. But you can also make windows however you would like. So if you want to do maybe just a square window, you totally can. Add a couple horizontal and vertical lines to make it look extra fancy. All right, and now one last thing that I really like to add to my castle drawings is a moat. So that's water that goes all the way around the castle. So to make sure that your drawbridge is actually going to work, I'm going to start at the end of my drawbridge, and I'm going to do a curved line that goes around my castle and kind of tucks behind. Same thing on this side, curved line that goes around and tucks behind my castle. If you wanted, you could add some wave marks to really show that it's water. And that's it. If you wanted to add any more details, oh, never mind, I lied. I'm going to show you how to add some flags to your castle. So on the top of your triangle, you're going to add a straight line. And then if you'd like, you can just do a simple triangle, and that's a really cool flag. But I'm also going to show you how to make one look a little more realistic. It's a little bit more challenging, but it looks cool. So instead of drawing a straight line, I'm going to make a curved line. And then I do the same thing on the bottom and connect the 2 ends. And you can see how it kind of looks like the flag is waving in the wind. It's a really cool effect. So I'll do it again up here. Either one works for a castle. You can definitely just draw a straight triangle if you'd like, or you can try out these kind of curved flags. Okay, so I could keep adding more details if I'd like. I could add lanterns on either side. I could add an alligator in the moat, maybe a knight or a princess in the castle. It is totally up to you. For me, I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to move on to coloring. For this coloring technique, it's actually one that I learned from a really awesome art teacher named Cassie Stevens. And so all you're going to need is some markers and a clean paintbrush and some water. And so what we're going to do is with marker, we're going to outline each shape, add a pattern if you'd like. I really like how it looks with a pattern. And then I'll show you how we use the water to help the colors kind of fill in and spread out on our page. Now that I have outlined each shape, and I've added patterns because I like how it looks at the end, so you can do that if you'd like. So now I'm just going to use a clean brush and just some water. And so I'm just going to dip my brush in water, dab it on the edge so it's not super wet and dripping. And then I'm going to start in one section. I can only do one section at a time. So I start on the markers to kind of wake it up and spread out throughout that whole shape. And so what's gonna happen is those colors are going to start to spread out. It's called bleeding. So the color is going to bleed in that area. And then I just wanna switch and go to another area. I have to do it one section at a time. If I was to cover this whole thing in water, it would all kind of blend and bleed together, and it would be a big kind of blotchy mess at the end. So you want to only do one section at a time. And if your color is not really spreading out right away, give it some time. Depending on what kind of paper you use, sometimes it just takes a little bit for the color to kind of start to spread out.